Basketball fans, welcome back. So, in the previous video, we talked about Kenya versus Cote d'Ivoire, and they lost that game 88-70. In this game, the Kenya Morans lost against Nigeria 71-55. So, let's just talk about this. So, Kenya had a very poor start, especially to start off the game. And this game, the first quarter, you could see the Kenya Morans were limited to 8 points. And you can see Nigeria came out of the gate swinging with 20 in the first quarter. In the second, you can see the Kenya Morans tried to dig themselves out of this hole, and they won the second quarter with a scoring of 18 points to Nigeria's 14. But in the third, you could see the game just looked a bit, close, but it was just spaced out because like there was like a 5-6 point buffer separating Nigeria and Kenya. And then in the fourth, Nigeria just finished off strong, 22-16, to finish off the game 71-55. So in this game, this game came right after the brutal beatdown the Kenyan Morans suffered at the hands of Cote d'Ivoire, who are actually quite elite, and Nigeria also elite as well. And I remember even a while back when I was just making my prediction videos way back in 2021, I actually predicted that the Kenyan Morans are going to match up against Nigeria. It was like a what if, and it actually came true. Because when the draw came out, I saw Nigeria there, and I was like, my God, it's like the basketball gods were listening to what I was saying. But anyway, I digress. The Kenya Morans shooting the three ball has just been an extreme sport for them. They can't even shoot a three ball. They have no clear defined 3-point shooters. And both teams were actually quite inefficient, especially shooting from the field. 35% from the field from the Kenya Morans to Nigeria's 34. So both teams are really struggling, especially shooting the basketball. But the Kenya Morans, they were able to dominate the boards, 14 offensive boards at that, and they were able to out-rebound and out-muscle Nigeria 56-35 rebounds, which was actually needed. The thing is, just try to impose and try to show that we could be able to, compete heavy with them. But unfortunately, the turnover bug was just evident because in this game we had recorded 28 turnovers. So the 28 turnovers really, really, it was actually a crazy, crazy start to record in a basketball game. But if you look at points from turnovers, you can see Nigeria, they had 21. Fast break points, Kenya had 13. Then points in the paint and points from the bench is where Kenya reigned supreme, especially points from the bench. 42 points from the bench. It was not a high scoring game like that for Kenya, as opposed to the previous game that they played against Cote d'Ivoire. But you could see there was a lot of productivity from points from the bench. And there was no time this game was tied or any lead changes. So Nigeria was just on top the whole game, and there was just a buffer point. And based on like what the Kenyan Rams tried to do, especially trying to dig themselves out the hole, try to keep the game close. Nigeria kept pulling away at every single opportunity, and they pulled away greatly in the fourth, and that was just the deciding factor of the whole game. And it goes to show you like the quality we have, and the lack of help that Telongwe did not have at the time, because this is the time where you're expecting like your players to show up and come up scoring. But it was just the same thing as the previous game. But in this case, you could see Talongwai. He showed up very small with a 4-point game, and he was the definition of being inconsistent. Looks like the Nigerian team picked up the fact that Telongwai, he was the guy that they're supposed to defend, but they forgot that we had Albert Odero, and Albert Odero actually balled out pretty well. If he replicated and he was consistent and helped Telongwai in scoring, we would have won this game. And if Telongwai would not, have a bad game like this one, we will have won this game, because this game he shot poorly. He was 2 of 13. He had a plus minus from -23, the highest negative plus minus of the team, considering the fact that he played north of 30 minutes. Then we have the usual suspects. Victor Bosira, 0 points. It's unfortunate this guy is the team captain right now, because this is the poor performance he was able to give us. And unfortunately, this is what this is what you're going to roll with in the 2025 Afrobasket qualifiers. So Eric Ruben Mutor, 0 points. He actually played 6 minutes. I mean, there's nothing to look at here because there's nothing that he did in the court. Griffin Ligari, 10 minutes played. What a waste of a whole quarter. Some players are playing north of like 2 quarters only to have like, poor performances. The only bright spot, especially when it comes to Bosira, is like the rebounds. But the team does not need him to rebound the ball because they already have the size in there. Got Bush and Okal and also Ronnie Gombe there. But you could see Alberto Dero, he just came out and balled out in this game. Although he had like 6 turnovers, which was not a good look. And also you can see Stu Makamba followed him right behind with 4 turnovers at that. Was not a good look. And you can see Victor Boseri really had the team because he had a negative plus minus from minus 15. So you could see he really had the team. But the two main guys that really had the productivity of the team, especially at the front court, was Bush. He played 17 minutes. He had 3 points, 1 of 6 shooting. He had a negative plus minus of minus 19. When Victor Bosiri is rebounding more than Bush and Okal, there's a problem there. Because these are the players who are damn near like 7 feet. They're like 6'12", 7 feet. And they can't even rebound the basketball efficiently and be able to be that person. Oh no, I know the Kenya Morans, when it came to rebounding, you could see they out-rebounded Nigeria, but you could see 8 rebounds came from Alberto Dero. So you could see he was actually quite active. Fidel Okot, he had 7 rebounds of his own. And the failure of a person like Okal and Bush, and even Ronald Gombe at the time, to be able to be efficient pieces, especially at the front court, was really detrimental to the team. Talongwai did not have the game at all, despite playing heavy minutes and being given the responsibility to shoot the ball at that clip. He attempted 13 shots and only 2 went in. And you can see even on the line, he missed all of his free throws. Alberto Dero, he converted 60% of his free throws. So this was actually an overall dud game from Talongwai, a person that you expect to be able to play, a person you expect to be your number one option. The previous game he had 25, and this one he had 4. And it was actually a sad situation to see because you would have expected, you had expected Talongwai to also just replicate the same performance, but he couldn't. And this one really had the team. I know at times basketball people can say that team sport, but your individual contribution to the team success is the difference. So you could see at the box score there was problems, and Alberto Dero was the guy that was there, and he had the rock at the time. So looking at even like the Kenya Morans scoring wise, in the first quarter you could see no 3 went in, and they only had 3 made shots, which was actually not a good look. Then you can see in the first half there was no 3 that was made. See Alberto Dero, he came in and he was doing his thing. Talongwa, he missed the jumper. You could also see Eric Mutori tried his long 3s, but they were not going in. Alberto Dero tried a 3 in there. And you could see Talongwa, he missed. He didn't have the rock at all. And Alberto Dero, he made a dunk, and it was actually quite good because it was just energizing. Then that's like the first half. You can see there was no 3s made. No made 3s at that. Then when you look at the third quarter, no 3 yet. In the fourth quarter, it's only the fourth where there were only 2 made 3s, and it wasn't enough because against the 3-point shooting team like Nigeria, if you look at Nigeria, just hold up. If you look at Nigeria in the first quarter, they made a couple of 3s in there, and they attempted a lot, and they also made a lot. So the thing is, without the ability to shoot the 3 ball, we'll be handicapped and not be able to like cut the deficit when it matters, because in this 3-point shooting era in basketball, you have to knock down those 3s. And that was just the thing that made the Kenyan Morans not be able to win that ball game. And even at the time when I made a video talking about this whole situation, I really asked myself, what excuses did the Kenyan Morans have at the time? Because after this game, we saw Coach Liz Mills came out and former Coach Liz Mills came out and said, there was a lot of inexperience that was showing. And it's actually quite interesting to see for her to say that, because there are players there that played in the 2019 AfroCan. They have been there, done that in continental basketball. Some players have played overseas, even in the US. So citing inexperience does not cut it as an excuse. And it was just a scapegoat, that the scapegoat excuse to just show that they lost the game. And also just saying that, Nigeria is a powerhouse, that they're allowed to lose like that. So that was actually one thing that really puzzled me a lot. So that's just my opinion. So you do let me know what you think in the comment section, or what you think about this whole situation, because my God, I looked at these games and I was just laughing. I literally laughed, because if you heard what these people are saying, and you look at what the productivity they had on the court, you will actually be surprised. And I'm pretty sure not many people even do their own research to check like the star sheet and even check the film and see what really happened. Because if they did that, they will look at this team differently. But majority of the time, just because the team is Kenyan, you have to support it by default. No, we support it, but we are loyal to winning. I am loyal to winning. So if we don't win, we have to look at why didn't we win. It's clear than day that Taylor Ongwae was the engine, and he didn't have the rock in this game. So if Albert Odero at this game did not put up a very good performance in his second game in the Afrobasket, we are doomed to fail at that. So you guys, let me know what you think in the comment section on this whole Afrobasket run in 2021. I know 2025 qualifies a few days away, and also teams are just gearing up towards that, and Kenya is also in the mix. So you tell me what you think in the comment section down below. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Peace out.